Hi and welcome to Voice It, Kenya's premier YouTube channel for advocating for social change and also empowering millennials to be active citizens. If you're new here, my name is Winnie Kabintie. Please subscribe and be part of the Voice It squad. Today on My 2 Cents, that's the segment where I, as Winnie Kabintie, get to give my personal views and reactions to a trending issues. I want to talk about that court ruling made last week that saw a former OCS found guilty of murder. So here's the story. Back in 2013, while this guy, Nahashon Mutua, when he was the OCS, the then OCS for the Ruaraka police station, a guy was brought in, a suspect was brought in. The suspect had been reported by the wife after a domestic squabble, and so what this OCS did, he took up this guy. His name was Martin Koome, and he, I won't say allegedly because he is found guilty by the courts. So what this OCS did, he took the law upon himself. He tortured these suspects by he beat him up with an electric pipe, and he also immersed his head in a water drum, in a drum of water. Okay, whichever sounds fair. So the injuries were so bad that this guy by the name Martin Koome ended up in hospital. He was rushed to the Kenyatta National Hospital, but unfortunately he succumbed the following day. So what was bad is that this OCS blamed someone else for that murder. He said that this guy was injured during a fight that broke out in the cells. And what was even sad is another person who was in the same cell with the deceased ended up taking the fall for it. You know, the guy was actually charged with the murder, and he's been in jail until sometimes this year, early this year, when Ipoa intervened, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that is the body that was established back in 2012 to investigate police excesses and especially extrajudicial killings and police harassment towards civilians. So Ipoa came in, they did their own investigations, and upon the complete of investigations, they actually recommended for the charges that this guy was facing to be dropped because they didn't have a case to answer. So Ipoa established it was actually the OCS who tortured this suspect and he died. And so the blame was passed on another suspect who had been held in that cell by the name Onyango. So since 2014, Odhiambo was facing murder charges for a crime he didn't commit. So picture this: you are arrested by the police within your estate for a minor offense, you're taken to the cells, and you end up being charged for a capital offense, murder, something you have no idea about. Just picture that. So were it not for Ipoa, Kevin Odhiambo could still be languishing in committee for a murder he didn't commit, while the real perpetrator will be out there getting paid through the taxpayers' money and keeping their job. And so what made me happy about that ruling was actually because an innocent guy who was standing trial for murder, a murder that he didn't commit, was actually acquitted. And at the same time, the victim, Martin Koome, finally got justice. So 5 years later, justice has been served. Now picture this: the guy who is facing the murder now is a former OCS. Like in a police station, I think that's the big guy in a police station, in our police stations. And so to see that To see such a thing happen, it's not something that I personally take for granted as a citizen of this country, knowing where we have been, knowing how impunity is. Because if you've been following this story in the paper, other cops, colleagues of this OCS, tried left, right, and center to cover up for him, you know, up to the last minute. And so to see another government body like Ipoa just come up and just conduct their own investigations, function so well, and of course it faces a lot of challenges, and especially because they're investigating police, and we know the police are like, it's the body that still handles investigations. So to see them rise above this and deliver justice to civilians, it's not something that I want to take for granted. And I want to give accolade to Ipoa for the great job well done. And guys, these are things we couldn't even imagine enjoying before. Just last month, there were other 2 cops who were sentenced to death after they were also found guilty of murdering a taxi driver in Kangemi some couple of years back, and other 2 suspects. Like this cops shot the guys dead during a shootout. And so I'm happy that we have a functional institution like Ipoa. Why do I keep saying Ipoa? I'm happy that we have an independent functional institution like Ipoa, and we can see what these guys are doing, and the body is actually delivering. And what actually inspires me more is that actually the 16th global goal, SDGs, the Sustainable Global Goals, is about peace, justice, and advocating for functional institutions, strong institutions. And this is a good indication that first, justice can be served, and secondly, we have a clear indication of what we can achieve as a country if we have functional institutions. Now picture if the Anti-Corruption Commission, the EACC, was delivering to its mandate. With all the corruption scandals that have hit this country, if we had functional institutions, because the institutions are there, if we had functional institutions working to deliver to their mandate, then Kenya would be a better place. So in my 2 cents today, I want to say kudos for Ipoa. And sometimes back, I had an interview with the former chairman, Mr. Macharia Njeru, and it was a great interview. I will share the link in the description box. You can go and read. So thank you guys for watching. I would like to hear from you what you feel about this saga and any other issue that is going around you. In case you have an experience with Ipoa, maybe there's something, or maybe you're even wondering how Ipoa operates, please go to their website. They have all these procedures laid out on how you can make a complaint, how you can follow up on case. They even have an update of the cases that they are following up on, the ones that are complete, and everything is there. I'll also share the link to their website here, but I think it's just www.ipoa.co.